Hello, everyone. This is Pastor Franklin Onyeje, and I will welcome you to today's leadership and life inspiration. Today, we'll begin with a question. Let me ask you a question. What kind of a man spent 27 years in prison, walk out with the power to rule a nation without any grudges, instead of seeking forgiveness or revenge, chose to rule with free heart? Most people, after losing even 1 year, will come out angry. But this man lost 27 years and came out ready to heal a nation. Today, we are going to be learning one of the most powerful leadership lessons in history from the life of a man named Nelson Mandela of South Africa. And by the end of this message, you will understand a powerful truth, which is great leaders are not made by comfort, they are forged by hardship. Let's look at Mandela's life from when he was born. You see, Mandela was born in a small village in South Africa in the year 1918. He did not grow up powerful, he did not grow up famous, but as he grew older, he began to notice something deeply troubling about his country. South Africa was living under a brutal system called the apartheid regime. Under this system, millions of black citizens were denied the most basic human rights. They could not vote, they could not live freely, they were threatened as strangers in their own land. Mandela could not stay silent. He could have chosen safety, but true leader cannot ignore injustice. So he joined the African National Congress, a movement fighting for equality and freedom. And that decision would change his life forever. In the year 1964, Mandela stood in a courtroom facing a life sentence. He knew that speaking the truth might cost him his freedom, but he spoke anyway. In the courtroom, he was sentenced to life imprisonment. He was taken to Ruben Island shortly after, a lonely prison surrounded by cold ocean water. And there Mandela would spend 27 years of his life. Oh, 27 years. Years where many people built career, raised family, and pursued dreams. But Mandela spent those years in a tiny prison cell, working in a limestone quarry under the burning sun, separated from his family, watched constantly by God. How terrible that would have been. But here is the remarkable part. Prison did not destroy him, it refined him. Mandela made a decision in prison. He refused to allow bitterness control his heart. Instead, he used those years to strengthen himself. Even while inside that kind of torture, where you are being watched, you are under a terrible condition to spend the rest of your life in prison. In that situation, there was hopelessness. In that situation, there were no hope. But leaders think differently. In that situation, Here's what Mandela did. He was studying. He read books upon book. He reflected. He trained his mind and emotion. The prison that was meant to break him became the place where a great leader was quietly being prepared. Because true leadership is not built when everyone is applauding you, it is built when no one is watching. In the year 1990, after 27 years, Mandela finally walked out of prison. The world was watching. Many people expected anger. Many expected revenge. But Mandela shocked the world. Instead of revenge, he spoke about reconciliation. Instead of bitterness, he spoke about unity. And in the year 1994, he became the first black president of South Africa. He was the first black president of South Africa. But the most powerful part of his leadership was this: he chose to lead without hatred. He invited former enemies to help rebuild the nation. Because Mandela understood something many leaders never learn. You cannot build the future while holding on to the bitterness of the past. One of the most powerful symbols of Mandela's leadership happening during the year 1995. It was Ruby World Cup. For decades, Ruby has been associated with mostly the white South Africans. Many black citizens felt disconnected from it. But Mandela saw an opportunity. He publicly supported the national team and encouraged the entire country to rally behind them. When South Africa won the championship, something incredible happened. People from different areas, different communities, different history celebrated together. For a moment, a deep divided nation felt united. That is the power of visionary leadership. A true leader does not only win battle, a true leader heals people. The life of Nelson Mandela teaches us three powerful lessons. First, hardship does not destroy great leaders, it prepares them. Second, power does not define leadership, character does. Third, forgiveness is not weakness. Sometimes it is the greatest strength a leader can show. Mandela lost his freedom, but he never lost his purpose. He endured injustice, but he never surrendered his humanity. And when power finally came, he used it to unite people, not divide them. This is the final reflection I want you to consider. Some leaders are remembered for their title. Some are remembered for their victory. But the rarest, the most uncommon leaders are remembered for their character. Mandela walked through decades of suffering, yet he emerged with a heart large enough to forgive, and a visionary and a vision strong enough to unite a nation. I'll take it again. Mandela walked through decades of suffering, yet he emerged with a heart large enough to forgive and a vision strong enough to unite a nation. And history remember every leader of this truth. Pain can either break you or it build you. The difference lies in the strength of your character. I'll close with this. If this message have inspired you today, I invite you to join a growing community of leaders who are committed to character, purpose, and transformation. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Even now, we are called the Core Leaders Forum, where we share daily leadership, wisdom, spiritual insight, and powerful life inspiration. You can also follow me on my WhatsApp channel, The Leadership Altar with Pastor Frank Onyeje, where we continue to raise strong leaders every day. And always remember this: history does not remember leaders who only held power. to remember leader who had the courage to transform heart. This is Pastor Frank Onyeje, and God bless you. And I will see you again in the next Leadership and Life.
Leaders across the world are rising. Subscribe now to the Called Leader Forum. Leaders across the world are rising. Subscribe now to the Called Leader Forum.